Igbos invested so much in Nigeria that anyone considering secession must be discouraged. This is according to Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu. The Nigerian politician and businessman, Chief Dr. Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu, while speaking with various television media outlets, stated that Igbos have not featured in the presidency for quite some time now because most of them still think about separation. He added that the Hausas and the Yorubas have produced presidents in the last few years, but the Igbos haven't. He, however, advised the younger ones who still believe in secessionists to stop and focus on the candidate that will represent them in the upcoming general election. According to him, we believe in federal character, we believe in zoning, we believe in every part of the country that we are in. But to tell us to zone only north and south is not fair. Like they have said now, north and south, when it comes to south, Yorubas have had it before, south have had it before, but Igbos have not had it. Speaking further, he said, we have told our people that we have to discourage our younger ones who are talking about secession and all that to stop. You have to stop them because we have invested so much in this country. Igbos are everywhere, and if Nigeria is a corporate body, Igbos are a major shareholder. Buhari took away Osinbajo's duties and gave it to the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. This is according to Atiku Abubakar. Presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Atiku Abubakar has faulted President Muhammadu Buhari's decision to sideline the Vice President of Nigeria, Yemi Osinbajo. Atiku Abubakar stated that Osinbajo's constitutional duties were taken away by President Buhari, who gave the duties to the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. Atiku Abubakar made this known while answering questions on how he intends to handle the office of the Vice President of his party if he wins the 2023 presidential election. Atiku Abubakar stated that during his time as Vice President, Obasanjo also stopped him from performing his function as the Vice President. According to Atiku Abubakar, there are regulatory functions of the office of the Vice President which are stated in the Constitution. Atiku Abubakar said that all the agencies that were supposed to be under Osinbajo's shopping mode control as the Vice President of Nigeria had been taken away by President Buhari and given to the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. A robber who was released from prison on Friday arrested again for stealing on Saturday in Lagos. A robber who was released from prison after a non-governmental organization paid his fine last Friday was again arrested by the operatives of the Lagos State Police Command for stealing last Saturday, less than 24 hours after his release. The command announced on Thursday, November 17, the young man, whose name was given as Yakub Yusuf, aged 23 years, was arrested by the operatives of the Rapid Response Squad (RRS) of the State Police Command on Saturday morning after breaking into the premises of the Lagos State Fire Service from where he stole valve covers of fire truck under repairs. According to the statement by the State Police Command through its public relations officer Benjamin Hunde and posted on the Twitter handle of the command on Thursday, Yusuf was earlier on November 1st, 2022, sentenced to 1 month imprisonment for stealing at Lagos State Fuel Dump in Alausa, Ikeja. He was imprisoned because he could not pay option of fine imposed on him. However, an NGO got wind of the situation and on Friday, November 11, it secured his freedom after payment of the fine. But on Saturday morning, a few hours after his release, he again went to steal and was arrested. He was said to have been transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department (SCID) for further investigation and prosecution. Well, you heard that from Iwuanyanwu. He said, based on what the properties Igbos have garnered, their position in this country, the investment, and so they shouldn't be talking about secession. And that he's trying to say secession has limited our chances of becoming president somehow. He said we shouldn't be talking about secession at all. So I've spoken to somebody about these properties in the north and other parts of the country. The person told me those things are shit compared to what we will get in the separation, what we will achieve, though it will not be easy. So the person says there is nothing wrong, that we could lose something. Yeah, though I didn't discuss that on this context. I was like telling the person, what if Nigeria seizes what we have, or just like what happened in River State, where the case of abandoned properties, Igbo properties, they were seized and they couldn't get it. The person told me these are nothing compared to the kind of development that will come to Biafra. A lot of people will, you meet up again. After all, after the war, those who have accounts in banks were given £20 each, and now it's like they have overtaken the people who had everything. So, Iwuanyanwu is discouraging secession. He said it's not good for us. Now, on the Osinbajo story, I was discussing with somebody also, and for me, it's not even the humanitarian affairs minister that has taken Osinbajo's position. I think even the Buhari's chief of staff, because if you look at it, okay, why Buhari went for his treatment abroad, he did not hand over to Osinbajo. And let me tell you, at that point in time, the person in charge of Nigeria was somehow Buhari's chief of staff. Anybody appointed, not that it should be so, but because of the way these guys run this country as if it's their own, they do whatever they like, they don't care. Even if by constitution a role has been assigned to somebody, there was a particular time this guy at the Human Rights Radio Abuja, Hembelembe, this Ahmed Issa, was talking about how Osinbajo was sidelined, as if his office does not exist. And people say Osinbajo, or the vice president of Nigeria, does not even live in the villa. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. That they goes to work. And imagine, if Osinbajo wants to see Buhari, it's possible that the chief of staff can deny him entrance. He's busy. You can just tell him he's busy. You can't see him, this and that. Try his phone. They could try his phone and they can't get him. You are the vice. So Atiku is trying to make a point that this is what happens. That Obasanjo also treated him that way. Even though Obasanjo also accused Atiku of it. Maybe while treating Atiku that way, he pushed Atiku where Atiku will get much money. You remember what Obasanjo has been saying about Atiku's loot. It's like while pushing Atiku, while sidelining Atiku, Atiku got a place where he could, you know. Meanwhile, what Atiku said about Osinbajo looks to be true. I don't even understand, apart from just the mention that Osinbajo is the vice, I don't even see his role. I don't even know what he's doing in this government. Sincerely. Meanwhile, I believe some contracts will be on his table. But I think his position as the vice is not really felt as it's supposed to be. Meanwhile, in rounding up on the thief who was caught, and some people paid to get him freed because the fine, yeah, and he went back again. It's like they would have allowed him to spend that 1 month. Who knows? Perhaps he wouldn't think of stealing again. But there are people who it's like stealing is in their blood. It's like I don't know whether they are being um, manipulated or what. Can you imagine? You release somebody on Friday, he went to steal again on Saturday. It's like something is wrong, or the robbery, stealing is ingrained in the person. During a confession of a particular former armed robber I read on the newspaper, he said, even while in prison, it is when you are being coached on how to operate in a better and a higher way. During a confession I read on newspaper, said some of them get tutored on how to do it, what they call sharply, a kind of getting more knowledge, becoming more sophisticated. Meanwhile, this guy's case, he came out again. It's like, is he thinking somebody will pay his fine again and he will free, or he doesn't care about, or he believes he will not be caught? Some people will say, "Agwagidonyala, ayagwatentam." The Whether the person had a former madman or madwoman will still his, because his is common. Even people who are not mad, they hiss, they twist their faces. I don't know what to say about this case, really. Meanwhile, on a bye bye for now.